beautiful fellow human beings, I got some glue. So, a few things I want to try. Let me get this moved a little bit. I have some copper wire, and I did manage to find a semi-working torch, so I think I'm going to try to make some weighted eyes real quick. And then I found a pattern for something called a bluegill killer, and I found it on Fat Fingered Fly Tire, and I think I'm going to give that a go, because I have everything for it. A lot of the times I'm targeting bluegill and little panfish, and it looks perfect. So, gonna give this a go. My phone is a little dusty. Before I do that, I've been wanting to try this for a minute. Where can I set this? And just got some random gauges of copper wire, and I think it might be a little difficult to get them to bead close together, so I might have to do two separate ones. However, really want to try it. And the strike on this, or the flint, is no more, so I gotta light it with the lighter. And perhaps some tweezers might be a good thing to have. Got these, they keep together. And I'm gonna cut a little bit. It's a little difficult getting them to match, because ideally I'd be able to bead it up to here and then on the other side, so there'll just be a little bit of a bar in the center. I'm gonna try to get it nice and centered. These tweezers are a little spent. Much loved, much used. I don't think it's gonna be powerful enough. There we go. A little bit more. Might work. So I got that one side pulled up. Sometimes it gets a little too heavy and the ball just falls right off. So it's creeping up. Try to get it the same as the other side. And I will have to harden them, because when you heat copper and quench it like that, it gets really easy to bend. So if you're like making jewelry and you need to kind of make it so you could bend the wire in any shape, you can heat it first and then dip it in water. And got some eyes. I'm gonna try it again. Hopefully get it a little bit more close together. And I think I'm gonna wait until they cool a little bit before clenching it, because I don't need them to be red. That's not. But you can see one side it has a nice cherry tomato color, nice red color. Oh, let me put my phone up. I see some people. Can't really see the comments. Y'all are on a box. But let me pull this up. Just doing some fly tying, little things. Trying to figure out a way to make some weighted eyes. One less thing to buy. Do I watch my boyfriend sleep? Yeah, this is a little creation station. Trying to convert my craft room into a fishing den, if you will. And figure out my forever path. Hi, Anne. Do you use S? I'm not sure that is. Let me pull up my computer. Oops. Oh, it plugs the computer. Let me just look it up. iPhone. First one in a minute. This is my original phone, which is a Pixel. I don't know much about phones, to be absolutely honest. Pretty much use whatever I have access to. Let's see this. Keep this on and on the side. Found a few more things to print. Might try some new patterns I found for the bobbin holders. This one is fine. It's a little weak. However, I think the next one I'll just remove the infill. And I just wrapped a hair tie on it, and it has a lot better tension. The one I've been using, the proper one, a little too much tension, and this black for some reason. The other colors are fine. It's just cheap fly tying thread that came in a kit, but the tension is a bit much, so it just kind of breaks it. I was trying to make a woolly grubber last night. I almost got all the thread off of it, but it snaps pretty instantly. Here's my face. Let's see. So this is just a little micro torch, one that one would use for creme brulee and or dabs, I guess. But it's all I use for the metalwork. Any bit of metalwork or rings that I made is made with these. Get the angle nice where it's only beat up on itself. I don't want to heat the other side too much. Can't really see the stuff there. This torch is on its way out. I'm gonna just start a new one. Maybe with thinner wire. I'm sure I had some thinner than this. I'm gonna try one more time with it though. And I just really want to get the beads very similar size on each side. And this is copper, so it should have a lot more weight than the mono eyes. I mean, of course. But just one less thing to buy. And really need to get some of these down deeper. I can't really see the point of the torch, it's so sloppy. That's okay. Come on. Go to the other side. The other side beat it up nice. With this a little bit. This one doesn't have any form of any adjusting knobs. That doesn't do anything. I think I need a new torch, but almost there. And all I would have to do is hammer the center a little bit. Hello, Silly Marin. Oh, hello, Yellowbeard James Gibson. I love that song. I really do. Got one set of eyes. I'm gonna try it again because is this a different gauge? Yeah, it is. I think I grabbed this one and just the torch is kind of weak. However, this is also how I make all my head pins for jewelry making. My hair's just not doing well. It's about that time of year where I begin asking myself if bangs are the way. I had bangs my whole life, but they take so long to grow out. And during the summertime, but during the winter, it's nice to have some added warmth. Wish the point was a little less brushy on the torch. Because then, a little bit more. Oh, there's that clean point. A little bit more. Just a little bit. See? Now you're sentient in one way or another. See? It's silvery, like mercury. And that's what it looks like as soon as it begins to start melting. It doesn't look like it wants to go anymore. Let's see. Tequila Hamlet, how you doing? Oh, Summer. Mendel. Etto. Forgot what noises those make. However, I think I'm going to ask a friend if they got another door. Because I don't think it's going to go through this thicker wire, which would be ideal, because just 2 balls on this, that would produce a lot of weight. And I do have some weighted lead wire coming tomorrow, but tomorrow is a whole day away. But got everything to make a bluegill killer. I hope you're having a beautiful day, James Gibson, and nothing too wild happened up there. I still can't get over the tornadoes, and I haven't seen much on the news really about any affected area. I get the shite storm is brewing, however. It would be nice to be able to be kept up to date on local and statewide things happening. Hello, Kiss Give Me. I so wish I could read that. Arabic is so beautiful. The the handwriting. And or was you safe? No, not font. Beautiful written language. I really like in Arabic art how you won't see idols and that kind of thing or depictions. However, the pattern work and the language in use like a pattern, it's really fascinating. And yeah, very clever. But I'm gonna try to make a bluegill killer. And every inch of this planet is beautiful, as well as its inhabitants. But this little guy is super easy to tie. Well, it appeared to be very easy to tie, and I found it on fatfingered.flytire.com. I think it's .com. Here, let me switch this up. I might have to move the phone so I could see it. Let's see. A lot of really good patterns, and the directions are very clear. Yeah, fatfingeredflytire.com, and it's called the Bluegill Killer. I'll put the link in the comments. I don't know if it's going to be a clickable link, but if you're on a computer, you'll be able to copy and paste. Excuse me. Or how I do it if I see a link that I'm curious about, I'll actually take a screenshot and then I'll use Lens to or Google Lens to select the a little roundabout there. So let's see. Step by step, we need 1 hook, 2 times nymph hook. So what exactly is a nymph hook? I do get, all right, so I believe that's this. I'm not exactly sure what size these are. These came in a kit, so I'm not too sure on the size. My phone's angled this way. I feel like it's an odd. Try not to look at myself. I overthink it. I'm going to be using this 3D printed bobbin holder. It has a little less tension, and I'm just going to apply some line and go down the shank. I haven't used this bobbin hold. Oh no, I'm not going to be able to use this either. Might have to do a 3rd wrap or just hold it with my palm, because you want it nice and tight. However, this black is very brittle. I don't know if this is stored differently or what. I'm actually gonna get a, I found one by Hairline for 25 bucks, a organizer to keep the thread in. I don't want them to start degrading or dust to start staining, especially the lighter colors. Okay, so we're gonna go, ooh, no. I always hit that hook and it does like to cut the string. So we also, now I just need some legs. And I also don't know the size of the thread. And I got legs in just about every color, and this pattern uses a red and black striped one, so that's what we're gonna use. And it just uses one. This is one of the most simplest patterns I've run into thus far. And I do need some chenille. I have this. And I use this black chenille, kind of very soft and very nice material. Wish I could get a huge roll, like a yarn roll or something like that. So I'm not exactly sure if it's best to cut it off or keep it on there. So we're gonna worry about the leg first. And how it shows to do. So if it's like, okay. Shows just adding, oh no, good call. Loose, 2 loose wraps, because then you could position it nice. Okay. And it does show it all the way at the end of the shank, so I'm gonna try to keep it in place, because we go back down in a second here. Maybe I can hold it. And I'm holding the bobbin with my pinky to keep it nice and tight. And trying to keep the leg. All right, so you don't go quite to the tip. Got it. All right. And now, got some of that tip left. So we're gonna go back down. Oh yeah. Get that nice and good. First one of these I've ever attempted. I was gonna try one last night, but figured I'd wait. Okay, keep that even. Nice and even, okay. Go up a little bit, I'm just gonna smooth that out. And back down, because what you wanna do now is, it shows like a nice X. So go in between or behind one leg. Ooh, this slipped a little bit. Yeah, or behind one leg. Tie. And then up and over that other leg. And they're not sticking out as much. I'm gonna keep doing that until they start to fork out. One more. Almost there. Go like that. Bam. And then perhaps under it. I'm not gonna do it. Maybe one. It's a little loose, this bobbin, so it's kind of sliding all over the place. Some more, I have the weighted lead wire coming, as well as the mono. That's gonna do it. Okay, now what? Cut them. Leave a little bit of length compared to the image, so in case it... Right, that's looking pretty. You can't really see it. Let me flip it around. So I got to this. Cozy stream because I found this shirt at the thrift store and it's so comfortable. I can never find white long sleeve t-shirts that fit, and usually way too big, or I can only find them in men's sizes. Okay. Alright, so now it's the chenille party time. I am a little nervous about this part. So, gonna add it close to the end, right? I mean, should I add it up here for even more body? Or nah? Ooh, it's soft. Ooh. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm just gonna use that to be my attacher. If anybody knows any patterns, and if you're here, I've been looking for kingfisher patterns. Do you by chance know what kind of feather is used? It's a beautiful blue feather. I do have goose biots, and I'm pretty sure I have one or two in blue. Okay, so I got the chenille attached. I'm guessing we go to the front. And then wrap. Okay. Let's go this way. If I'm going this way, I kind of wrap on the opposite. I'm not sure if that's a good thing to do or not. Nice and tight. I already like it a lot. I bet. I was also wondering if I could use dubbing noodle in place of chenille. Alright, so how far? So, okay, let me push that a little bit. I don't have quite enough room for that. Alright, so that'll be it. Just trying to get that on as tight as possible before I secure it down. And oh, no. Wow, that went right back there. Just trying to smooth it a little bit because now I got some hackling to add, and boy, am I nervous. So I do have black hackle feathers somewhere. Have a sip of coffee before those. Do you have black, right? Oh. Yes, there is. Oh, okay. Okay. Maybe I'll add a little blue to it instead. These feathers are very, very affordable. So it shows just a little bit of hackle. So I'm just gonna cut off a little bit of hackle. Let's see, where is it? I'm gonna check that one out. It shows just a tiny amount, so I'm gonna try it. Learns to poke under like that. Okay, man. Now what? Alright, palmered hackle. Not something I really understand just yet, how to perform. Should be using my little hackle things. But, you know what? I'm gonna lock it right there. Lock that right there. Okay. Now do I get another wrap out of that? Let's see. Oh. Alright. 1, 2. Kind of like a collar, I'm guessing. Right, stay in my hand, stay in my, yeah. Please excuse my face. All right, I think I did it decently. Not like great, but ooh. Good job. Shite. How am I gonna fix that? I just cut off the tip. Oh. All right, it's okay. Because the best thing about fly tying is you could just unwrap it and try it again. Oh, that was painful. All right, maybe this time I'll try using the hackle pliers and try not to lose that tip because that could be used in another project. Hope everyone's having a beautiful day. And this one has a lot more blue in it. So let's give that another go. We may mess up, but we don't give up. Cut that little tag off just before it gets a little too crowded. Okay. Now I'll try the hackle pliers. I believe this is the English style. And I don't really need to keep looking at the instructions, so let me pull up this chap. Oh, that's not me. It is a... Wait, if I'm going this way... Alright, so I want to go this way. For some reason... Oh, oops. I love these little things. Alright, that is night and day difference. Being able to not worry about it slipping from my fingertips. Stay back there, would you? Hey. Alright, we're gonna go like this. Kind of trade. Make a trade. Hackling is the one, well, one. God, how did I mess that up again? All the respect to fly tires, dear Lord. Now what? Alright, I'm just gonna do it. Nike, just do it. That's what the shirts say, right? Relax. Talk. Relax. Pull it nice and tight. Okay, relax. I saw someone using a straw to like push down their hackle, but how do you take the straw off? Alright. Okay, it's getting there. Just gotta go back a little bit more. Kind of. Oh god. Oh, you know what I need to do? Make one of my knots, because trust issue knots. Hey. Alright, so my hackle's less than to be desired, however the saying goes. Can't wait to get some glue on here, that's for sure. Okay, I'm gonna whip finish it and glue it. Dang. Every step forward, there's always going to be steps back. And case in point. Ho ho ho! That was nerve-wracking. But it's okay, because now it's done. Let me just get some resin in my bowl. Little honey pot here. I do want to try to find a small bottle to put this stuff in. It's just gotta be black. I guess I could paint it. A lot of people I see using electrical tape, but I'll be real, it's too hot down here and it gets really tacky, and don't breathe. Oh, it's so excuse me, it's so precious. It really is. A little precious bluegill killer. I love it. Put that aside. Oh, made a horrible sound. Printed that thing for the glues, and I'm very happy with it. The original print that I found to hold the varnishes and the head cement, it's for a certain brand. So I'm going to keep it aside because always down to try new things. However, I still needed something for my UV glue and light and the varnishes. So looked up, that gnat is still in here, there's no way. Looked up a pattern for, or not a pattern, but on Thingiverse for nail polish bottles and found the perfect one. And everything fits, everything I could possibly need. And the printer is really nice. A lot of this stuff, like the organizers, look at that. Here, let me set it a little bit more and then get some close-up action. The Bluegill Killer. I'm not sure who created this pattern, however I found it on Fat Fingered, I keep wanting to say angler, Fat Fingered Fly Tire, and I wanted to try to make one last night when I found it. That site has a lot of brilliant patterns on it, and the step-by-step, sometimes I want pictures, step-by-step pictures, and instead of a video, and oh wow. Did I leave like a banana in here or something? Because there's a gnat that's like very hardy. But anyway, so this was a less than satisfying experience using this bobbin holder. So definitely gonna work on either printing another one or just finding some. I found a kit that has quite a few bobbin holders in it, and might spring for that eventually. I was gonna try to get one of Lefty Kray's bobbin holders, however, I know there's so many people that would literally well, not literally, but you know, would be very happy to get something like that, and some of that stuff needs to be in a museum anyway, so I had one on hold essentially. However, I did tell her not don't hold it anything, because I'm not sure when I could come up with the rest for it, and I would rather it just, you know, end up in somebody else. I don't like feeling like I'm wasting someone's time. And, yeah, really good person, really good people, and it's been so incredible just talking to her and hearing stories, firsthand stories, that I had no idea Lefty Kray dated Patsy Cline for a brief period before the war, and still, what a loss that was. She had such a unique voice, and God, I can't remember how old she was when her plane went down, and I can't remember who was in Hawkshaw Hawkins, and there was somebody else. Like, there's been quite a few celebrities that have been taken out of the sky, quite literally, like Buddy Holly, and Richie, and the Big Bopper, which was one of my favorites growing up. His music is very comedic. All for yourself, making a bluegill killer. And I'm not sure if it's completely cured. However, getting there. I get stuff all over my hands. Cure the belly of it a little bit. And got some glue, got a bottle of glue, and this thing is just ridiculously useful. I'm not going to be spilling any of these. Lefty made a block out of foam, and but to be honest, I didn't know what I would do, how to cut the holes perfect. I was thinking of heating a copper pipe and sticking that through it, or using a Dremel bit, but I don't think I have those round saw blades anymore. I think it came out, it looks just like which is the first time I think it was even on the beginner fly patterns, but I really like how this site is laid out. I don't know if you can see, however, it has the instructions, but then you could see the pictures. And I prefer this so much more than videos sometimes, because by the time I look down, I gotta rewind quite a bit, especially if I'm following along with something. And I'm really excited tomorrow, because that fly, I feel like I'll be able to use with the spinner reel, no problem. Just put some lead wire in between. I was looking up how to curve it, using some split shot a few inches above the fly, as well as a bobber, and I was quite excited for that, because I have these bobbers I'm really excited to use. They are weighted, and they're kind of like an oval. Let me grab it. I've never used one yet. I do have to organize this. Yeah, everything I could possibly need. And even found this as an old waitress or server's apron, but now I could carry all the stuff without I have a thing that's like to hold tools for your belt. However, it's too heavy, empty, so I've never been able to really use it. Because women's clothes aren't very sturdy, and like I don't have any thick leather belts or thick denim, so it just kind of falls. Oh, that's really cool. Gotta repack this for. It's an eye. Oop. I just packed this up and it carries everything. Oh, and it has one of the bobbers in it. Sweet. These things. I'm not exactly sure how to attach it either. However, I think this is gonna do me just well. Got some and that frog didn't get any hits on it. However, I've been looking for those bullseye sheep's head, or no, bullseye snake's head, and they're said to use like frogs. Gotta pull this out also. I don't have any 10-pound mono, but this is 17 pounds apparently, which I don't understand. It's so thin. It's like the same diameter as the 8-pound that the 33 is spooled with, and much thinner than 15-pound. And so I'm not sure. I got this forever ago for jewelry making. And 15-pound is just a little too thick because the glass minnows are mono wrapped. I have my toolbox, and I really want to try. Was that all that I was going in here for? This thing's really sweet. Got this for weeds, because a lot of the spots out here you gotta do some landscaping before you fish, and of course just a fillet knife. But lighter, pliers, and these ones I really like because they have that little stabby thing, so you could open the rings, split rings, or however they're called. And then of course measuring tape, which the one I keep on me is a lot meatier because then I can take pictures and not really have to hold two things. Fat Max. And is that it? Yeah, that's it. And here those one. Got some just little rope for bait basket or anything, even the camera. This is to scrape barnacles off to chum for sheep's head for lobster season. Ugly stick warranties. Another these things, measuring tape. Knife sharpener, just a cheap one, but it works. And this is for needlefish because, ow, so I got that for needlefish. A mirror in case something gets in your eye or we get lost. And oh, some scissors, and these ones are sweet because they're serrated, so you're not going to be sliding around on your line trying to cut it. Oh, found this last time I was on the fishing pier. Free tackle. Another clip in case there's anything else on the bag. And this is cool too. This is a really heavy duty ring, so you could use this to swing or like attach a rope so you could get back up. Multi-tool and some dental floss because that pepperoni does get stuck in your teeth. And that's what's in my bag. Isn't that like a thing? And in here, since we're on a tour no one asked for, got some games. Games from every console on this. Walter got this for my birthday one year and really hooked it up. There's hundreds of games on it. Cheaper fillet knife for bait and stuff like that. Gloves, because I honestly don't know what I would do without them. Some of the fish, especially, oh no, they're all melted. Bathing suit. And this is a bag. Extra bags are always good to have, so it's not totally a waste of space. I have some more gloves, just $1 garden gloves from Publix. Just helps grab the fish. Sometimes I hesitate a little bit. and they're very spiny, and a bunch of towels. Put this towel in there. And then got some just random strengths of mono for a liter. Another thing of just utility rope or what have you for camera or anything. A little first aid kit. Even got a thing of Narcan in here. It is South Florida. You never know what you're gonna see. And the net bag that I crocheted for holding stuff while swimming, which is just a net. Really useful though. All you need is a crochet hook, and you could turn any fibers into nets. And an umbrella. A very nice German man named Hans gave me. Perfect. And usually my battery backup is in here. Got some more leader in here. And then down here is where the tackle boxes are. I don't know if you can see that. Tackle. And in this I got a crab weight and some random bobbers and other weights. I primarily use the egg sinkers and the triangle ones, or the pyramid ones. And swivels and stuff like that, which I might consolidate these into something smaller. And hooks, which I need to these out anyway, because I think I want to try to put skirts on these guys, since they're already weighted. I'll skirt those up. Did kind of want to put a few of those tiny hooks in here, but I'll hold off. I could probably consolidate all these into one. However, this bag does not like being empty, so it kind of needs the trays to stand. So I was gonna try to find like a metal box to put in here, just to kind of keep the shape in case it is empty. Is that all I went in there for? I think so. And it fits quite nice in the cart when there is a cooler in it. But I love that bag. I don't know what I would do without it. And also got it in black. I don't know how. If anybody sent that, please do let me know. I'm more than happy to send you something. Or flies, plants, cuttings, handmade jewelry for your lady, or mom, or grandma, aunt, uncle. That's nice. So the legs, I think next one, I gotta take a little bit more care making sure the legs, I mean, they're not too bad. And I have to realize also that it'll be flowing through water. And that's it. Bluegill killer. As you can see, I am not very good at applying hackle yet. But ew. I'm not very good at all. Oops. There's some bald spots. Maybe I could. Well, it's a nice first. I was so cozy in here, but now I'm very hot in here because this thing, very multi-purpose, I guess. I really like this shirt, but there's no getting another one. I think it's like a camp shirt or something. It says it's not gonna be big enough. It says stuff on it. I don't know what it says. Fighting ill. Oh, Illini. It's not footballs. It's so comfortable. But anywho. Shoot, my hackle's not good. How do you get that perfectly round collar of hackle? Here, let me grab another shirt to wear because it is a little steamy in here. Oh, I didn't check to see that the update completed. Well, I got a shirt. I forgot to change. Let's see. Well, I definitely want to make another one of those because I know I'm going to lose it. I have some beads. Some heavier beads. Maybe I can use that. Okay, maybe not. They're going quick. Maybe I'll try glass bead. Just something with a little weight would be great. Let's see. I think these are made for chatterbaits. I don't know. Well, you know what? I don't know unless I try. Maybe I'll just Alright, either one of those will possibly work. Let me see as is. And if not, I'll give up completely. I'm just kidding. Alright, no. Oh, maybe. Oh. Let me try. These hooks aren't the best quality, so getting that tip. Sometimes it breaks off. Okay. Now let's try. Hey, got it. Nice. I mean, one glass bead isn't gonna add a terrible amount of weight. I feel like it's worth a try. I mean, it's I think I'm not even gonna try. I'm just gonna do it just like this one, but hopefully with a little bit better of a hackle job. And I'm wondering if I should change bobbin holders. I can't wrap it around because I didn't really, I didn't sand it very well. But let's try one more time. The Bluegill Killer. I gotta really hold it with my palm to keep the thread from doing what it wants to do. I should have brought some pickles or eggs. How is it again? Okay, let me look at the instructions one more time. And again, this is from Fat Fingered Fly Tire. So, oh, bulk won't hurt no one. Don't think, at least. Okay, so I gotta add that leg and another leg. And I'm just using these little stretchy legs. I'm gonna try to be careful pulling it out because it does affect the color on it. Especially, these probably aren't the best quality, but they do just fine. Two loosies. Does anybody remember the day that stores used to sell loose cigarettes? They were called loosies. Not quite. Oh, I don't know how to hold it. Nope. Come back. Try and get it a little bit. Almost there. I'm gonna go round first this time. Helps prop them up in the back. Okay. Now do a nice X. Bam. I think that's it. And then I gotta add some chenille. I've been using this really nice, fluffy, wonderful feeling stuff. And pull some off and get that tail. I think I like attaching it like that. Oh, don't hit that hook. Okay, tightly I shall wrap. Oop, don't grab your legs. Guess I should cut those. Okay, and I'll pick up my phone so I can see if I missed anything. True. Definitely need to get a waterfall for these silent moments. Okay. I'm gonna go back just to make sure everything's secure. This time I'll have a little bit extra room too for the hackle. See if it... Okay. Alright, this time I'm going to probably wrap it a little bit more than last time. Yeah, this one has nice short ones, and I think that will do just fine. A little bit of a hackle. Oh, my hair's doing it. That's okay. Nice. And cut this pokey bit out. Oh, I can see that. Let me turn this on. Hello, Trevor 76. I see that green. Hello, Jonathan Judds. I am more than down to sail the 7 seas. There is actually a Facebook group, and the purpose of it is to hitch rides on sailboats and usually volunteer to do some crew duties. I kind of really like it like that. Nice. Alright, so if I'm on I go that way this time, remember to put these hackle pliers. Alright, so this time I'm not gonna trim the tail. I don't know what it is about. Not that one. But I can't seem to do hackle. I don't know how fly tires don't run out of materials, and I don't know how they're not like continuously panicking over, because I know I am. Just cut a little bit, and hopefully the legs of the feather will lock on. No. Alright, do the thing you do in videos. Please excuse my posture, just kind of cavemanning it right now. Oh, I want to cut it so bad. Okay, but I'm not going to. What's happened? Oh, that's painful. No, no, you don't. You're not even gonna come close. You don't do that. Okay. Good thing everything's weighted. Besides this bobbin holder, maybe that. Oh Maybe that's why. Because this 3D printed one has 0 weight to it, and it's just bouncing all over the place. Okay. Calmly. Ah! Ah! Oh god. Take the wheel. Hey! Oh, you son of a snatch, you better stay. Oh, you son of a snatch, you better stay. Okay, come on. This is not easy. Why is this on the beginner page? I'm just gonna pull them all back. Oh, God. I'm sorry, I'm losing my cool a little bit. I just got poked. No, you're staying. There's no getting out of this. Alright. Alright, we're good. No, we're not. Okay, we're good now. This way. That way. This way. And then that way. No. Bad. Slowly getting there. Alright, go back. Alright, this I could probably... You know what I'm gonna do on my... I think it's called a nail knot. Ooh. I mean, it's not much better. And then we get this little tag end. If I can. Not quite. Ooh, why is it just sliding off? Try to color it a little bit more. Where did this big hump come from? Alright, I am going to do my trust no one knot. I'm just kidding. Alright. And whip finish and cry. Ooh, it's just not working today, huh? My hands, minds, all the parts aren't working. Ah! No more. No more of that. No more of that bobbin thread holder. You were one stubborn little bastard. Oh man, so I got a little bit in the hole. Let me, let's see, what do I have? Let's sharpen it, not that. I don't want to sacrifice a feather. That's it. Holy trucks. Gosh, hackling is not as easy as I thought it was going to be after watching a good amount of videos. It's so slippery, but the effect is so incredible. And I was practicing making doubled hackle yesterday. And thank you, Ian. Yeah, slowly getting a little faster, but then taking 50 steps back. It's like, as soon as things start making sense, there's like a bunch that gets either forgotten or something. You can see. I got two to mess with out there. Not the best hackling. Or like hack job hackling. As you can see, I was trying and failing, but this is the closest I got to the doubled hackle. You run your scissors down the feathers, come to find out. And don't tell the eyelash girlies. I used to do Etsy eBay pictures, and I would get quite dressed up, if you will, because a lot of vintage clothes, and it's just fun. And but I still had a box of the fake lashes, which I never really understood how to use them. And the glue, as soon as I smelled the glue, I was like, there's no way that's going next to my eyes. But it's like pre-made hackle. I feel like these are definitely gonna end up on a fly. Whew, okay, let me see. Ooh, a footery. I gotta look that up. Cool. So you really like the word tinker? I identify with the word tinker. Very good word. And come to find out, in Scotland there's a clan called the Tinkers, or the Tinkerers, or Tinkers. I thought that was neat. But footery, I've never heard that. Means something that is small, fiddly, and requires time and patience to complete. It is brilliant. Tedium is another one. My last name, I used to, I wanted to make, a long time ago when I made a ton of crafts, been Jaime Tedium. Footery, I gotta remember that. I have a, don't want to lose any of these because these are still, I have so much useful material. I'll have to make a drawer of decapitated hackle feathers because that's super vibrant, really nice. But I'm not sure if this is considered marabou or what makes marabou, but this fuzzy good stuff I think would be good on like small, tiny little woolly rubber. Which painted some beads. I don't know how well they're gonna hold up, so I think maybe some head cement or other type of lacquer on it. But they really colored nicely. I just used some quick dry nail polish. Very smooth, and this is over brass. And after a layer of lacquer or UV resin, I think that'll hold up quite nice. Whew! How's everyone's day going today? I hope it's doing good. Really excited for tomorrow. I can hardly contain myself because then pretty much complete. All I need is some lead eyes, which don't know. Like this here. I tried to make some. They just gotta be heavy, and that's not too heavy. But this is as close as I could get currently. Maybe if I try these pliers. However, Oh, we got some bags. Crustacean, crab, people, crab. But get some eyes, and that will be good for crustacean. And yeah, that's all. Last thing I did get I did maybe scare my way a little bit into getting some grizzly feathers. There was only two left on Amazon, and I don't know how fast they restock these kind of things. And mad good deal for grizzly feathers. It's called the Woolly Pack, and there's a bunch of different varieties of shapes, lengths, and it says in the description it's up to the angler to choose the proper feather for the proper purpose. Let's see. That's looking like probably gotta flip it a few times. I'm really excited to try these. I should grab a foam block. I'm not sure how it's gonna affect how it moves, the hackle being so uneven. I mean, I got it a little bit more splayed out. Definitely gonna take some practice. I really would love to hear like not only people's favorite patterns to tie, but also like the anxiety that must be experienced when you're running low on a certain feather. Like, some of the stuff is really difficult to find, and especially to find affordably. And it must be a real thing, because one thing I was worried about is by the time I like kind of got the basics, I'd be running out of this or that. The thread seems to last a good amount of time. I think I'm gonna try to take one of my tackle boxes to use for thread just to keep it from getting dusty. And still haven't tried this beautiful chartreuse. I'm very excited for this, and gonna get some pink here soon for the bonefish flies, but I'm not gonna be needing those for for a good amount of time. So trying to just get supplies to make ties, not only to put on Etsy because I figure I might as well. And I'm not exactly sure how many to put in a pack and how to price them. I've been kind of gauging off of other sites, and yeah, and I'm waiting until I at least am able to test them or get them to anyone who could test them, because I am ready to do this forever. I just gotta get a little better at it. And I'm really thankful for fly tying because it checks off every box. I think for the remainder of my life I really do want to focus on just fishing, and that keeps you outside, keeps your body alive, feeling alive, and you get to feed your friends and family, and could also trade with hunters for proper meat. Oh, I meant to put that in here. I wanted to start hiding lures in here and see if they'll be noticed. It kind of like looks good with it all. I gotta get me a film box. That's too cool. Ha! Can you pick out the one I just added? These are the ones made in Scotland. And really, where did the necklace go? I think it's hanging in the room. Need to make a skirt or a lure with a Scottish skirt and call it a suit. And you know why? Do you know why Scottish people wear kilts? Because zippers scare the sheep away. I heard that once in passing. Yeah. Here's a little hackle feather. So these will also go in another drawer, because they're all very still. Alright, so these are hackles with the head still attached. So I'll put those above the hackles that have been decapitated. It's one of my favorite ones. There are a few, but now I can't tell them anymore because they're too whatever, and they're not even that. They're just funny. But I can't. On Messenger I can. But because yeah, so just a little touchy for my 2J's jokes. A lot of these jokes I learned at 2J's. Trying to keep everything organized. And I do have some better ooh, God, I'm crushing them. I really don't know why I only got one pack of these. These were $1.76. I was showing the wrong phone. $1.76 for all these. I left part of the label on it, so I know exactly what they are. And they are furnace saddle hackles. Really beautiful feathers. And a ton of fluff at the bottom, which could be used in other things. And then this is, I got a pack of really cheap dyed ones, which ideal. There's a ton in here. 200 in there. And this is the one that I'm still quite confused by. This is from an angler site, and this is from Amazon. 100 saddle hackles. I don't know how many are in here. However, the difference is wild, and I can't find where I got these ones. I'd really like some more for some larger deceivers. And then these are the ones that I dyed myself via Sharpie. I had no idea how useful. I got all the Sharpies to make plant tags. Code had these computer chips. They're stickers, but they're what are those called? Oh, he's here. What are those sensors called that you could scan onto the phone? I really gotta actually make some to put on phone poles, because then you can make a little doodle to catch attention, and you just put your phone on it and it opens a site. And like for the trees, I was able to say like when it was planted. Unfortunately, the strawberry tree passed away. Strawberry cherry. And they look like cherries. They don't really taste like strawberry. They're more kind of like a cotton candy, very light, fruity. Yeah, they're like these little barcode things. And I was making tags for them. I wish I remember where I put them, because I took them out of these drawers and put them somewhere in the abyss. And they're brilliant. All the tags I made with old Coke bottles, because you could indent it and emboss them really easy, and a Sharpie looks great on them. I don't know if you've ever seen that Mexican art that's stamped metal and painted. I really like the look of it. It's always so vibrant and juicy to the eyes, and usually like in motifs like Sacred Hearts and that kind of thing, and flowers. Major loss that you put them in the freezer. Yeah, no, it was a really good tree. Should be mulberry season anytime, and I'm really excited for that. Every year, you'll see my fingertips will be purple. They will look like corpse hands, unfortunately, because really vibrant, but when you wash it, it just like looks grayish, blackish, like even greenish. However, it's so worth it, and more than happy to send any mulberry cuttings out, especially, I mean, mainly in Florida. I don't know how well those varieties I have will do elsewhere, maybe inside, but really easy to grow. You don't need rooting hormone or anything. You just stick them in the ground. When it grows a little bit, break some more off, and then you have more mulberry trees. Got like 9 full-grown mulberry trees, and they're all from cuttings that I grabbed from just a tiny little scraggly tree behind my grandparents' old house. Still don't know why my parents freaking sold that. My whole family, honestly. I miss the house dearly, and I miss all the little things my great-grandpa added, like to hold my grandma's or great-grandma's receipts and like different things. I miss that house dearly. That is where I learned how to paint a little bit more efficiently, like walls. Yeah, frozen fruit is one of the best snacks ever. I wish the blueberries weren't so expensive. I used to get bags of frozen blueberries all the time and just eat them like candy. Because we're humans, we have sweet teeth. And it's just as satisfying as like anything else, candy-wise. And really tasty. Frozen blueberries, amazing. The frozen raspberries, alright. Frozen blackberries, alright. However, the seeds, frozen blueberries. And God, they're so freaking expensive now. It's like it's $14 for a bag of frozen blueberries. Let me turn that around. Got 2 bluegill killers. I want to get a little bit better at this hackling. I'm more than happy to send any of these out because I really do need some feedback on if the stuff works. Because then I'll know what to better change. I do think some weighted wire is gonna change my game anyway. Because even on regular hooks, I could wrap the hooks, and I'm not sure. I know absolutely nothing when it comes to wire gauges, and like the gauges, if you would call it gauges of the floss itself. I'm not sure much about that at all. So I'm not sure like how thin the wire that I picked out is, and I did notice that they had more sizes. So I hope I didn't get like when I started doing salvaged metalwork, just little using the microtorch, making rings and things. I tried to order some silver wire online, and it was like the width of hair. It was so thin, and I think I ended up just melting it all down and hammering it, but it was so thin. That's such a trip. I swear, I wish I could, I don't know, get some of my friends on. Well, some of the people I know, I don't know, because I think y'all would really enjoy these parts. And I'm a firm believer that like anybody can make a channel. There's so many ideas the human mind just pops up with. And I think it's almost kind of turning into that anyway. I always wondered why people spent so much mind on celebrity, but I think it's changing to more like I was watching a thing yesterday was the trend was no spends for a month or no spend October or something like that. And it's like, oh, it's my time to shine. I haven't bought any, besides the fly tying materials, this is like the only stuff I've ever gotten brand new in years. In years. Like things in packages. Besides the alcohol markers that I never ended up using, the chisel tips on them are rough. It's a horrific experience that I wouldn't wish upon anyone. The Art X markers, don't get the chisel tip if alcohol markers like are something that you wanted to try. They hurt the ears. They're so rigid, and I just don't like any part of it. They have brush tips and every other kind. I just saw the amount of colors, and that was when I was designing pixel art for Kinto, which I am going to start picking back up. Any pixel art I've ever made is in Kinto. And pickles too. I was just talking yesterday. I don't know why I haven't really tried to make pickles. Like, I think one reason is I'm afraid that I'm not going to do it right and introduce some form of bacteria and, like, I don't know, evolve into a beast. But I really want to try to make pickles because there's so many odd and beautifully delicious fruits and vegetables, especially here where there's a lot of tropical things growing. Like, there's this vine, and the little berries, they look like little watermelons, but they taste just like cucumber. And it's in the cucumber family. They're so good. Every now and then you'll find them at the beach. And what a treat to, like, eat something off of a vine that tastes like a cucumber at the beach. There's a historical building. It's a really beautiful old home, and it's a museum now. I forgot what the actual house is called, but it's at Dubois in Jupiter. And Dubois is Dubois, and incredible spot. There's a little lagoon that turns into essentially a lake, and that spills out into the inlet, which spills out to the sea, and then you got the beach. There's so many different, very ADD friendly. If you go to a spot and you get a little bored, Dubois is the place for you. Because when you get bored of the beach, you go chill in the inlet. If you get bored of the inlet, you go chill in the little lagoon thing. And if you get bored of that, there's a literal historical house, and it's really fun looking through all the windows. And it's built on a shell mound. And that's where I found actually quite a few really old fish bones. And they're so old, they have a purple hue to them. And blue lotus, very nice. That's what I really want to get for the Gambusia tank. And any type of lotus, but it would be really cool to get blue lotus because there's so many folklore revolves around it quite extensively. Any lotus, the seed pods are really trippy looking, but the nuts, been wanting to try those for a long time. And same thing with the roots. The roots, there's only one place that I know that sells lotus roots at Food Town, but I really want to try the lotus. I know it's getting real. And I think today is the Joe Rogan with the Joe Rogan thing, I think, happens today. I'm very curious about that. And I'm not sure if she's going on. I keep seeing that buzzing around. However, I haven't really looked it up. And I think, yeah. I'm just very, very excited for this year to be over. And then we could all go back to being rainbow children, glowing under the sun, friends forever. Now they're saying, like, either way there's gonna be, like, a mass domestic disturbance and that kind of thing. It is almost over with. Very excited. Keep kind of time traveling via USPS because I get like a little thing. Sometimes it's like a buck or two. And that's a few days of waiting. That's a few days of not like having my mind reeling out of control, like because catching snippets of the news and stuff, because it is really disheartening. And you know, I like being able to go out and like talking to random people without like fear of lunacy, which that's always there, and I love chaos. I thrive in chaos. However, people just, it's like the great unnerving or something. Glow in the dark paint. I have some glow in the dark puffy paint, and I'm trying to figure out ways to use that. It's just, I think I'm gonna donate all the little bottles before they dry out of all the other colors and just keep the glow in the dark ones because they take an actual eternity to dry, and I just don't see myself using any of them. And besides the glow in the dark ones, because those are brilliant for eyes, even though all my eyes stuck together. But these eyes, I think they'll be really. And I think I actually added some glow in the dark to this one. Let's see. One of them I did. Or, I mean, some of them I did. Yeah, I think so. Charge it up. And I also have some plastic glow-in-the-dark beads. And I discovered this new, or not new, I don't know when it was created, but new to me, chatter flies. And I'll have a little piece of mono, a loop of mono with some beads on it. And maybe mixing one, because they're plastic, so they're not terribly heavy. But yeah, I wish I had the balls to talk about politics, but I don't. I'm too much of a, you know, we're all in this together type of human. And it's like, it's all been so ruined. Like thought terminating cliches. That's one of my least favorite things ever on this planet. Anything that stifles thought, because where do thoughts come from in the grand scheme of things and ideas? Like sometimes I won't even see a bracelet. I'll just be like, huh, I kind of want a blue bracelet with some orange accents, and hop up and I'll make one. I don't know where these ideas come from. I don't ask myself many questions. However, stifling ideas is like very anti-human species in my opinion. And like, there's a guy who commented on a ship video about a ship being sunk for artificial reef, and he's like, oh, that's just such a huge waste of materials. I was like, hey, it's really, and I wasn't saying anything. I said it's really dangerous breaking ships, especially our vessels of that size, and that will house thousands and thousands and thousands of fish. And his response was, well, I still think it's a waste of materials. You're not going to change my mind, so why bother trying? And but he's commenting on every single person's response. And like somebody said, it's a great tourist attraction. He's like, for who? It's this depth in water. Divers? Fishermen? Like, it's just like stuff like that. I was like, opinions aren't poured concrete. This is what I said. Sorry, God, I could pull it up, but ideas aren't poured concrete. They're fluid. Be like water. The water is in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. You put it in a cup, it becomes the cup. The water can flow, or it can crash. I forgot how it goes. I was really into Bruce Lee when I was a kid. Be like water, my friend. But anywho, I should probably start another little guy. Oh, and there's got a little tiny baby feather. I love when they come with these little baby feathers. And it goes right in my baby feather drawer. Got quite a few. I thought this was going to be for tools, but it's just ended up being for feathers and pieces. Concrete. Did I say poured cement? Poured. I have to ask the dumb question. When you ask enough dumb questions, they don't become so dumb anymore. What is the difference between concrete and cement? That hurt asking. I had to disassociate a little bit asking that. I feel like I should know. Concrete v cement. And have you read about the either or, the Roman cement or concrete? Apologies. And same thing with poisonous and venomous. That always gets me too. Concrete has stones in it. Okay. Concrete. With crete. Concrete. With stones. Con means with in Spanish, so I could remember that. Concrete with stones. Concrete. Con stones. And I was reading a little bit not too long ago, the concrete in Rome and how it stands up, and I was reading that it was made with seawater, and it self-heals in a way. And I don't know too much about it, however, that was really interesting in passing. This shirt is so comfortable. It's definitely like a teenage boy's shirt, probably. I have to find shirts in the kids section because they don't really put t-shirts in the women's section. If it's like women's size, it'll go in the kids section, and if it's a little larger, it'll go in the men's section. And best part is that the kids' clothes is usually way cheaper than it already is. I go to a thrift shop called Community Thrift, and really good. They have a rewards program, so when you spend any dollars there, it gets returned by way of discounts and like that kind of thing. They organize their clothes by size, which is unheard of in thrift shops. So you're able to just run in real quick to see if, you know, they got a jacket in your size. Code actually got something. Oh, I've never been this jealous before. I actually don't know how to regulate the envy I have for this little TV. Little TV, tiny little TV, already awesome. However, you can connect it to like your computer and like watch the little, like it's really cool. It's this big, and I could probably grab it. It is here. Become water move. Yeah, Bruce Lee was a huge loss for humanity. And that's why I'll never fully trust the fill in the blanks. There's certain because he was definitely, you know, I think the sun, oh my gosh, what are the odds? It's so dark. Yeah, seriously. And gosh, I forgot what year. I know my dad was young and he was torn. It was his greatest idol. What year was it? Couldn't have been in the 70s. My dad grew up really quick. He was smoking cigarettes when he was 8, but he lived in Texas, and was the youngest, so very rambunctious. And my grandma on my dad's side used to spend a lot of time in Mexico, and the bars would keep a jar of peppers for her, and they would just ferment them throughout the year until it was like as spicy as you can possibly get it. And she would sit there with her legs crossed and sweat pouring down her body as she drank her warm beer specifically, and just ate the heck out of this concoction of peppers. And the people couldn't eat it. They're like, this bitch crazy. But and my dad was able to go through well over 25 times. Oh, please send me a link on that. Every now and then I'll watch Old World Florida's channel. I don't know if he's mentioned Big Mound City yet. Not a lot of people do. And I live really close to it. And I really want to go and check it out in person. And don't eat the worm. God, I remember seeing those in the tequila bottles. But yeah, please. And I did find the movie. I was actually really wanting to watch that. Every now and then I'll like put it on essentially a cartoon, and God, I already forgot what it's called. But it's like the personalities. I thought that was an interesting concept. I know a long time ago that Florida had stamps that had a pyramid on them. And if you look up Florida pyramid stamp, it'll come up. But Big Mound City, really interesting. There's not much information on it. And I actually tried going to a few of the Archaeological Society's meetups. However, not much mention on hyperlocal, as in like right down the street, and the Big Mountain City, huge complex. And if you find shark teeth out there, you found them, and it was an ocean of grass before, and the mounds, I believe, are still there, and there's a lot of concentric circles. When Cope brings his drone up, you can see nothing but concentric circles. Not quite floating islands, Fierce thought, but I'm sure there's something like that out there, because the pools of water, straight circles. Cheers, Ian. Cheers there. Yeah, I might have to pop up my computer. Don't know what to set it on. Is this done yet? I've been waiting 2 days for this. I'm going on 3 now. But my controller doesn't stay charged. I am going to tank so hard, but that's okay. I have a lot of trash to take out of this room also. Oh, come on. Hey! Alright, so the one update is good. Ha! That's up. Nice. Very good. Well, I got a friend request. That never happens. I'm trying to make a little team for a minute. But everyone, the few people that I know that play any form of games is not on Modern Warfare 3. I just realized it could be my dad for Halloween. I just need a pack of cigarettes. Do I have an empty pack? I usually have. That was the original thing I used to use for leaders until I found these. Because then you could throw stuff in it and it doesn't get all tangled. Alright, please. Oh, you fucking kidding me. There's no way. Oops. I don't understand. I don't understand. Well, gotta utilize the facilities briefly. Excuse me. I really don't understand. Oh, I could bring this one. It's launching. Remember that? huge score. Oh, my shirt ended up on the floor. So this is it. And it looks so sick. And with this, it takes composite and lets you use HDMI. The total score is $8. God, they would go for like $200 online. Little noobs. Little noobs. Little switch. Really neat. I remember watching so much TV as a kid on the Hurricane TVs when the power would go out, and for some reason it was always Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Very, very cool. Set that in a safe place. Right there. Oops, I didn't refill my cup. Gotta grab some water too. For real, that was an absolute score. And had a really good wool jacket and an abalone shell and a book on Lantana, which I really get excited for finding local books. And Lantana is the neighboring city to Lake Worth. They really go hand in hand. And if you're in Palm Beach County and if you fish for sand perch, Lantana Beach, you have to go a few hours before the public beach opens or a few hours after and to fish on the beach there. But the rocks are swimming with them, and the rocks are like 3-4 feet out. They're very close. And they pick up a lot of treasure, so it's always a good place to snorkel too. Oh, nice. Panasonic TR. Have one that I found at a thrift store. Oh! That's it. I'm really into bubble screens. I don't know if that's what they're called, but I always call them bubble screens. That's awesome. Orbital, very cool. Got one in the room, old CRT. The ones like the plastic shells that kind of look like wood, and which is a serious treat to be able to watch shows that I remember on that, and it's like hyper nostalgic. But also watching modern YouTube shows on it is very something about it. Like I could grab a picture of it. I gotta get some water anyway. Some water and coffee. I'm an old lady. double fist. Oh, crap. Oh, I got the door closed somehow. Got some milk instead. Also, there's feathers all in here. I wonder how many feathers I'm drinking in the last few weeks. Shirt still on the floor. Oh, I'm so excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last two things, and I'm gonna call it after that and focus on completing some. Cheers. I really like milk, however, it's gonna be cold, so I have a tendency to just might be very nauseating to some. I much prefer that than pretty much anything else. That, water, of course, coffee, iron brew. But I've been trying to keep away from sugary drinks as much as possible. Alright, am I gonna make another one of these? I really want to get this down. I have some foam. Oh, where did I put that? Oh. Okay. That was a piece of foam. I put it in something. Oh, yeah. It's just literally a piece of foam. However, I'm able to use it to hold many flies. Let me see how similar the two are. Because that's another issue that I have quite frequently, is not being able to make two of the same ones. I really want to get... I got a few more bald spots on the hackle. But not horrible. Bluegill killers. And the pattern I followed is by the fat-fingered fly tire. And quite like them. I wish I had a piece of white foam for more contrast. But a little side by side. White shirt. See, the hackle is not very good. But practice doesn't make perfection, it makes progress. In my opinion. Quite like them. Can't wait to try them, and I can't wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be... Tomorrow's gonna be wild. Got monothread and the lead wire, and then just I need a... Oh, this is it. It's so nostalgic to be able to watch all the shows on there, and it would be cool to also run a stream through it and have that be the view. And I really gotta get back to her. I've been really bad at responding. Been nervous. Oh, purslane. Purslane's one of my favorite wild edibles. I've been eating that stuff since high school. Haven't tried pickling it yet. Like, I did pickle it, not quite. I didn't let it, I just kind of put it in a vinaigrette of sorts, and really tasty. And purslane, P-U-R-S-L-A-N-E, really delicious, really easy to grow. the little pods full of seeds. And there's two varieties near me. There's the proper purslane, and then there's sea purslane, which is much bigger. And that's the one that I tried pickling or vinaigretting. Really want to try to pickle something. Oh, whoa. Yeah, I remember one year when everyone was throwing away the computers, and years later, of course, I was able to get on YouTube and look at videos on how to get the gold from it, which I think it was like essentially electrolysis or something that got the gold off. And but oh my god, I went through so many computers looking for chunks of it, and one year just like every office converted to the flatter screens and smaller towers, and every block was just full of these computers. And like schools when they converted their computers. What numbs the pain, or when numbs the brain, numbs the pain. And also, vice versa, what numbs the pain, numbs the brain. And yeah, scary to think what another 30 years will do, but until they start replacing and repairing themselves physically in our world, humans are part of the equation. Right on. Ooh, nettle. Saw nettles growing on the block over. I wish I harvested them because all of that was mowed over to make another house. But it was the first time that I saw proper stinging nettles here. Huge ones. Oh, no, never mind. It was thistle. It was painful, so. But nettles. I got some nettle tea bags. I read that in the UK, there's another plant that grows near the stinging nettles often, and it's like the aid, or the, like, to soothe nettle stings. Sting nettle sting. Same thing with Gumbo Limbo. There's another one that burns. God, I gotta reread it. Let me scroll up. I do want to pull the computer up because I think I have pretty much everything to tie a kingfisher fly, but I can't figure out what that blue feather is. Maybe if I just put a video on silent. That top wing. Oh, okay, maybe that. I just saw it on fly fishing forum. That'll have a ton of information, surely. Really beautiful. So that's it. Cause that back, the tail, pretty sure I could use the goose biot. The silver butcher, kingfisher butcher, and the hardy schooled busher. They are flies that you do not hear much about these days. Looking back to the time when I first started fly fishing, 1958, when fishing the Scottish lochs, at the start of the season, our cast of 3 flies would be a Peter Ross on the point, an Alexandra middle dropper, and a butcher on the bob. Another fly that was commonly used at the start was a woodcock and mixed, yet another fly that has fallen out of favor. The Alexandria was first called the Lady of the Lake, and the butcher's first name was Moon's Fly. If anglers were to use these flies more often, including myself, they would once again become as popular as what they were in the 50s and 60s, before all these modern day flies came on the market. It stands to reason that fly patterns that have lasted for over 100 years do not suddenly become failures. Very, very beautifully put. Let's see. Good, thank you, Dave McPhail. Or Davey McPhail, so MCPHAIL here on YouTube. Hook, wet fly, size 10. Thread, uni 8/O, black. Would that be also 8/0 like thread, or is that a dumb question? Tail, goose shoulder or dyed kingfisher blue. Body, fine gold wire. Body, gold mylar tinsel. Hackle, dye hot orange. And wing, mallard blue quills. Oh my god, so I was taking Lucy for a walk and decided to cut through a canal, and the biggest, most beautiful duck flew right over. If I had just had my camera out, I would have been able to hit record. It was incredible. I'm definitely going to be taking that street more often. It's just down, over, and around. So many ducks down the street. It was incredible. Oh, okay. Those. Your super traditional mallard. Alright, so what was it again? Mallard blue quills. Wow, okay. Perhaps, ooh, I don't know if, like, a blue jay feather would act the same, like, if it's, I'm gonna go on complete angler. They'll probably have it. They seem to have everything. Mallard. Oops. Blue quills. Oh. I see a lot of mallard now that I think about it. Those really speckly, very light feathers. I'm gonna just chance it on Amazon. I mean, I have quill feathers. And put fly tying. Oh, okay. They do have them. That blue is so indescribable. Mallard flank. That's really nice. But not it. What's quill subs? I signed in. 100 pieces? 100 of them? Guess a mixture. Nice. Well, I found the feathers. That's cool. I couldn't figure out that feather, and I couldn't find many sites that had the materials list. And a few YouTube videos, just didn't watch them yet. Jack Daniels, name's the brand. Brian Wilshire. Oh, very nice. I don't know if you've seen, sometimes they'll have, so cows will have blocks of salt to lick, and I forgot what state does it, but they do an art show, and they present the blocks as if they're sculptures. I mean, they are, and the pattern work, it's wild. I could try to find it. That would drive me to lunacy, having to lie down, or to, you know, stay in one place. But good time to read books, like, you got your James Joyce in those parts. I think I did. I think they're duck quills, and I found one, or I found it mallard ducks. It has that blue. Let's see. Let me also find salt lick blocks art. Yeah. Gotta check it out. So here's an Atlas Obscura page. Great site too, Atlas Obscura. So perhaps you'd like to purchase art sculpted by a cow. And look at how cool that is. Incredibly, just incredible. And I'll put this in the comments. I'm not sure if it will be clickable. Yeah, exactly. The salt bricks. And Oregon has a contest where they'll exhibit the blocks, and all kinds of really fascinating textures and patterns arise. Like that, come on, that is modern art right there. Incredible. I wonder how they, maybe they, to make a lasting statue, could cast it in bronze or something. It's art for real. Started seeing in Lake Worth people adding electric fences. Crime's been pretty intense there for a while, and it's such an artsy little like cottage-filled city. But you have the extremes, like west of Dixie. It's very different than east of Dixie. But Richard, definitely check out that link If you look up just cows, salt blocks, Atlas Obscura, it's just really fascinating, especially if you like that like kind of emergent art. Himalayan salt is really tasty. I got this salt. I have two kinds. I can't find the other bottle, but it's black. It's like volcanic salt or something. Don't know much about it. I've been using this clay salt. Also don't know much about it. It came in a really tiny bag. Must be fancy. But the other salt that I found is a wet salt called Celtic salt. And it's about $8 a bag on Amazon. You can't put it in like anything except a glass jar because it will corrode. It's wet salt. And it's really good. It's like a grayish color. And Celtic salt. Yeah, no. I keep a bunch of cheap salt on me, and it's not for eating. It is for either salting bait or art projects, or there's something else. There's something else. Oh, curing bird wings and stuff like that. One day I also sat there. Where's the bottle? It might be in one of these things. I sat there with these tweezers, picking out individual pieces of silica from sand. I really want to get enough in a bottle to at least melt it to get a little like silica coin or something, a little glass coin. Every now and then at the markets there'll be a couple there selling Roman glass jewelry, which really I just want a bead, and the color is indescribable. It's really beautiful. Yeah, Celtic salt is really tasty. I have a little bit left in the bag. Oh, let's talk about salt and crave eggs. This is it. Well, what's left. Very tasty, very good. I'm gonna make some eggs. This thing is incredible. It really is. $10. I don't think there's ever been a time where I spent $10 and really felt like prayers were answered. Just being able to cook boiled eggs without using a ton of water. Well water out here, so it's finite. Beautiful. And again, it comes with a little needle. Tesla technology. And you put the small side down. Eventually I'll get some good eggs again. A lot of people out here have chickens, and they sell off the eggs. And you don't have to refrigerate them, which is a huge plus. I just... Oops, I forgot to add the water. Which I think I have a good amount of water left. I think I have enough in here. Oops. And it does it automatically. Do have to move it over here though. I might accidentally unplug the light. This up there. Please don't fall off. Good. Water. Eggs. And then it just turns on, and like a rice cooker, it automatically, it's very smart. And like 6-7 minutes, got a bunch of eggs. With just a few spoonfuls of water, which is just, it's always hard to gauge how much water for the week. And yeah, I've been really into prepping since I was a kid. And like my journey into eating wild foods was well before high school, but then I was able to really utilize like the internet. I went to a very small Catholic school. You weren't very free on the internet there. It all started when someone downloaded A Night in Paris. If you know, you know. Yep, it was 5th grade, and you just heard that start playing. And then they got really tight with the computers. But, like, I still have my SAS book. I keep meaning to find another copy for my dad. So this book is great. I still, now that I'm really looking into learning all different methods of fishing, I used to be able to make baskets pretty well. I've never succeeded making twine or roping yet, and I want to try with coconut fiber, boiling the coconuts and hammering it, and it makes it really soft. I believe in Vietnam, you can make a really simple a broom by boiling the halved coconut shell and beating the crap out of it, and it makes it really soft. Now, oh man. Put user in time. I can't believe that is an actual thing. I have to take a screenshot of that. That is so funny. Put user in timeout. Ain't no way. But, yeah, no, YouTube removes messages sometimes before I could read them. The curiosity kills me. But this book is great. You can get it for a few bucks on eBay. And there's all different types of tips and tricks in here. The plant section isn't very expansive, however, this is where it's at. And I keep seeing on Weird Change Luke going on and on about how we're all low in magnesium, yet he won't. What's wrong with eating weeds? That's where the magnesium be. Eat the weeds. And this is by Green Dean here on YouTube, and you can find it by eattheweeds.com or just search Eat the Weeds here on YouTube. And all the wild edibles, not all of them, but you know, really good start. Like for instance, dollarweed, that grows about everywhere. Had a little area that was flooding from the water tanks, so grabbed some dollarweed the last time I was at a park, and put some there, and it's still there. Got dollarweed. And purslane, Spanish needle, really, really good free way to get local as you could possibly get pollen. And let's see. And should be getting into season for the ground cherries. I feel like I remember my hands being freezing when I was picking them. Really tasty. And poor man's pepper. Been using that for a minute. I always wanted to try this. It looks so good. The hyacinth or grape hyacinth. You have to be really careful. I don't know if there's many that look like grape hyacinth because the flowers are very unique. But always do your research before eating anything. And they look really tasty. Make a grape hyacinth lemonade or something. And I still haven't found. Oh, Jules at Opart. I have seeds, and this grows really easily. More than happy. It's used traditionally in Chinese medicine to help alleviate anemia. And I could read about it. Jewels of Opar, beta carotene and potassium, no known safety issues, native status, supposedly native to warmer areas of U.S. I found it just by chance walking downtown. They are having a little plant sale. I got that in a goji berry tree. Identification. Skinny, succulent plant with flat, glossy, mucilaginous green leaves to 4 inches long, wispy pink flowers and dark red fruit. Roots are long and orange. The leaves are delicious. They're super crunchy, almost like a superior spinach. I'll be real. Moist areas, well-drained soil, warm weather, intolerant of frost, prefers full sun but could grow in partial shade, raw or cooked in stews and soups. His notes on this is learning wild edibles has a sense of discovery to it. It's treasure hunting for adults. Well, anybody. One day, a friend showed me an edible in her yard with a strange name, Jewels of Opar. It sounded like something out of an Indiana Jones movie. You're close. It's from a 1916 novel with Indiana Jones of his day, Tarzan and the Jewels of Opar. In the book, the 5th in Edgar Rice Burroughs series, those titles are actually jewels. Or those title objects are actually jewels. Jewels of Opar is related to purslane and nicknamed Pink Baby's Breath, both of which should give you some idea of what it looks like and why it's popular as an ornamental. The Edibles Encyclopedia Cornucopia 2 calls it the karuru or flame flower. Other references use the common name Javanese ginger, say the long orange roots can, like ginger, be found or grated for use as a flavoring. The most common food is green shoots and leaves, can be eaten raw, salads, cooked, stewed, and This species is somewhat tart because of the oxalic acid, which a lot of stuff, excuse me. I do want to read the introduction to this real quick. I'll just start in the center of it. Another answer is wild plants tend to be pack more nutrients and flavor than their cultivated brethren. They are not protected or pampered like commercial crops. They have to take care of themselves, and they do that by making a variety of beneficial chemicals. Wild edibles offer unique combinations. Wild edibles also offer unique combinations of flavors, textures, not to mention nutrients. I did try to grow ice plant, and it was the craziest texture. It was really cool. I only was able to get it like that big. However, more learning is in order. They can be quite good for you after all. They kept they kept our ancestors alive. Humanity survived for a long time without chemists in the kitchen creating fake food and additives or putting a multitude of chemicals on our food plants. Wild edibles are also versatile. Not only can they meet everyday needs, but they also can help address specific nutritional needs. For example, about a dozen plants have vitamin B12, an important nutrient for vegans and vegetarians, and one highlighted in this book. And quotation or parentheses. Other plants contain a good deal of iron, and premenopausal women might need more iron in their diet. Perhaps the most common nutrient mentioned in this book, which covers plants that most modern folks don't eat, is potassium. It's probably not a coincidence that some 95% of American adults are deficient in potassium. Similarly, magnesium is a common nutrient in wild plants, but many Americans are deficient in magnesium. The long-term effects of such deficiencies are serious. Minor problems begin to accumulate, and then they become major issues over time. People in the past sometimes had serious nutritional deficiencies, whether from outright famine or deficiencies that led to conditions like pellagra, which is a niacin deficiency, rickets, a vitamin D deficiency, or beriberi, a thiamine deficiency, or thiamine. But most ancient illnesses came from infections and diseases, not diets. Today, one thing I always was fascinated by is in ancient Egypt, the mummies would have absolutely rotten out teeth, but the more common folk would have most of their teeth intact, and they weren't eating a ton of sugar. Because the Romans, when they brought the sugar, whoo! Today, most of the most prevalent illnesses stem largely from diet, not infections or communicable diseases. This suggests our modern diet is detrimental. Our very existence proves that ancestral eating worked. It's seasonal, sufficient, varied, and provided nutrients regardless of where you were on Earth or what the native diet was. A 1999 study examined, and I feel like every plant has a purpose and a use for us, and things we need uses for. Just haven't unlocked them all yet. I mean, the periodic table is nowhere near complete. And a 1999 study estimated that some 10% of weeds and wild plants are suitable for food, depending on where you live. More in some places, less in others, and with seasonal variations. One reason why animals moved and hunter-gatherers moved or followed them was seasonal changes in plants. One might argue that foraging is knowledge lost to farming. Eating wild is in our genes, and it can be healthy fun. Foraging is treasure hunting for adults. Enjoy. Well, for anyone. Eat the weeds. It was, I believe, $20 and highly worth it, in my opinion. It's a really good companion book, and it's absolutely full of things that I recognized and wasn't sure about their edibility. Like American Black Nightshade. I eat those quite frequently, and it should be about that season. Saw some beauty berry on the Death Walk the other day. And American Black Nightshade, you have to be really careful with these, extremely careful. If it's not falling off the plant, and if the stem isn't black, do not eat. It's in the nightshade family, so it's a little iffy. Notable nutrients or uses: calcium, iron, beta-carotene. Safety notes: this edible plant is frequently confused with deadly nightshade, aka belladonna, which is highly toxic. The easiest way to tell them apart are the fruit and the flowers. Both have green fruit that ripens to a deep purplish black, but the American Black Nightshade is pea-sized and grows in clusters, while the fruit of the deadly nightshade grows singly and about the size of a cherry. Also, American Black Nightshade has small, white, star-shaped flowers, while Deadly Nightshade has flowers that are large, tube-shaped, and brownish pink. Make sure to only harvest completely ripe berries. And they're very beautiful. I used to add it to my resin pieces, berries and flowers. Really, really good. Ripe berries, raw or cooked, young leaves and stem. Another thing I want to try is firebush. Grows pretty extensively here in Florida, and one of the oldest recipes that I know of is firebush catsup. And I wish I knew where I put that. I have a notebook with all the recipes, but I believe I got it from eattheweeds.com anyway. Same place, same dude, Green Dean, and I remember a long time ago he was fighting his city because they wanted him to mow his yard, but he found a clause that says it's not it can't be overgrown without purpose. Like if you, but he was growing it with purpose, and so it always stuck with me. I just like, it smells like eggs. So that is your little doorbell or your alarm. Bam! Eggs are ready. They just gotta cool. Free fruit indeed, from the creator indeed. And highly recommend that channel, Eat the Weeds. And Green Bean. Every video will be a different plant. And pine needle tea, absolutely full of vitamin C. And I think it was last year or the year before, I tried to make the pine needle soda. You just pine needles, some sugar, water, and a little bit of lemon juice, and it carbonates. And I guess when it starts to ferment, it was bubbling. It tasted so good. And not quite a Sprite, but I would say it was better than a Sprite. Very, very refreshing, not syrupy, really good. I haven't made tea yet. Electric pepper, I gotta check that out. Eclectric, I like that. That's sick. Eclectic, electric, that's sick. But I think it's a bad time for me too. Gotta eat and all that. Had me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich today, out of bread, but no waste. And there's no onion in the pasta because it's out of onions. And so that's good for the dogs. I got a few little piles. I gave up trying to eat it all. But interesting. Yeah, I have a book on medicinal grasses. One of my earliest plant book finds. Found it at a yard sale, I believe, or a church sale. And church sales are great. Yeah, the honey that was found in the pyramid is still edible. How wild is that? That is intense. Honey is magical. I really gotta get those bees in a box. Because, and all that comb, you can melt it down, make dubbing wax. That would be nice. I was wondering if maybe using some bacon grease as dubbing wax, because maybe that will produce also a smell, like an edible, tasty smell. But I'm gonna bring these eggs out and have a little egg party. And pick out some more patterns based off of the materials I have thus far. Those duck quills are way more affordable than I thought they would ever be. For 100 of them, $6. So I think I might spring for those. And I do have quill feathers, so maybe these will do good for practice. I don't have blue, but perhaps purple. Purple and orange, maybe. And I have the goose biots. Do I have blue? Yeah, I got a blue one. Oh, I got 2 blue ones. So I really want to try to make one of those. I really love learning the patterns of old because I love that none of this stuff existed just a few years ago, essentially. And a lot of the patterns were just solid. And there's so many patterns to sift through that I never know where to start. So I've been really, like, heavily looking up the history. There's a book called Fly Patterns and Origins. I can never find it. Anytime there's a copy for like $20 that pops up, it sells instantly. And yeah, no, it makes things so easy now with all the vibrancy. I mean, I got some dye. I don't have blue dye, but I got some dye to start dyeing stuff. However, you can't beat that. And these just came free in a kit, and I'm really excited. And I got the silver tinsel. I have the wire. I have pretty well everything minus the goose or the duck mallard feathers. So I'm gonna try to get some of those, because to be able to tie historical patterns would make this even more soulfully satisfying than it already is. It's been a huge life change, to be honest, because, you know, it's very easy to convince yourself the world has turned into a dark place. We're human beings. It's always been a dark place, but, you know, it is what you make out of it. And fly tying is just giving me a whole new lease on life, just every second of it, and all the different materials, blending human ingenuity with nature. Ridiculous. I'm very happy that somehow landed on this. I don't think I'll ever have money though. I have lists and lists of bookmarked pages just because it's so expansive. I can't get over it. I don't think I'll ever will. Which, that's ideal. Something that keeps you excited every day. I feel like that's what a lot of people just all want. And gotta figure out shipping, because I'd love to get you a kingfisher. That would be really sick. And I mean, I think it was only like 50 bucks or something to ship a whole fishing pole from Scotland to here, so I can't imagine an envelope would be terrible. And but please have a beautiful night and take it easy, Ann King. You know, when you're healing physically, it's a really good time to pick up a book, and because usually that's about the only time I can sit still in one place, is if I'm like physically incapacitated. And I do have James Joyce Dubliners. I have a friend of mine's really into James Joyce, and haven't been able to finish a read of his, but one day I got it on the side. But hope you have a beautiful night and take it easy. I shall be back tomorrow with some lead wire. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that lead out, and some mono thread, and hopefully I might even try to make a blonde tomorrow, because they're very simple, and they were created by James Brooks, which is Lefty Kray's mentor, and it would be sick to do like the trifecta: a blonde, a deceiver, and a Clouser's minnow. And whoa, face like that's straight to ruin. You're gray now. I'm slightly nearsighted, so I remember the colors of the the circles. Gotta break one. Oh, I gotta get my bowl. That bounced so much. I just wanted it to break. Interesting. Oh, they're hot. Oh, you can't. Surgical removal of the owl shell. The egg shell. Oh, go. Dang it. Oh, that's hot. Temperature wise. I don't use these for glue, so they're pretty sanitary. I have resin tweezers and no resin allowed tweezers. It's actually quite satisfying. Takes too long. Waiting is not something that I'm good at. It isn't real. Oh, it is real. Ah! Oh god, oh hot. Butchered. Butchered egg. There's just a little bit left in here. Wet salt. That is not at all an edible temperature. I love that egg thing. That thing has been a treat and a half. Scotch egg. I want to try those so bad. I've never seen them available locally. I have not. Okay, so Scotch egg is essentially deep fried egg, but I think it has meat around it. Scotch egg. Yeah, that looks killer. God, I wish I could make that. Because that is like a whole meal. Make a bunch of those and just grab that on the way out. Also beef Wellington. I know it's not really related, but I've never had it and it just looks so good. And it looks... I wish I was better at cooking meat. I really mess up steak all the time. Code is definitely the steak guy. Because, I don't know. I'm convinced it's raw, and then by the time I'm convinced it's perfect, it is overcooked. And it's something I need to work on. Bad. It looks so perfect. I really want to try some proper, like, the mince, I guess, but that has grains in it. I think that's really neat. Salt. Oh, I haven't tried butter on it. Butter will be going on these. Let me peel this one to get it nice and cool. I haven't tried that, and that sounds killer. Do I have a knife in here? Ouch. Yeah. Most of them out. Let me just grab a paper towel. Yeah, butter. It's one of those things. It really goes good on a lot. Just want to get the shells out. I think I have some on the plate ready. Butter. Oh, I forgot a knife. Put this on the side of the bowl. I already salted it. Melt some in the yolk, I guess. Oh, this is about to be really good. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Are you kidding me? I've never done that before. I swear to God. Oh my God, it's creamy as hell. Code if you want an egg. Buttered egg. Making a mess in here. Get some of that yolk with the butter. Wow. I don't know why. I never thought of that. That is killer. Is that like a traditional thing or just like a personal? Grab some mayo while you're at it. That's really good. God, I'm glad I didn't go anywhere. That is killer. Gotta make some ghee out of butter so I could keep a jar of that on me. I did try the peanut butter and pickle sandwich. Well, no, I didn't. I had a peanut butter and jelly and had a pickle on the side. That was a great combination. I think I'm gonna wait to commit to a peanut butter and pickle sandwich until I get the new pickles, which are not quite pickled pickles. If that makes sense. They're a little more cucumbery still. I don't realize. This is great. Yeah, that's really good. And Code said he saw something, or I can't find it though, where it's essentially eggs mashed in butter. But that's just some simple eating, and that is fuel that will energize a lot of hours. Oops. That is killer. That is seriously good. Because it really grosses some people out, but I really like soft-boiled eggs. I like the yolk, but just been making them hard-boiled because they kind of always come out hard-boiled anyway in this little thing. I haven't messed with the different water levels. Even on the white, that's really nice. But the yolk is a little dry tasting, and this completely eradicates that. Completely eradicates it. I don't even think there's a necessity for salt because it's salted butter. That is serious. Yeah, I gotta get some ghee. That is serious. That is wild. I thought I knew how to do a hard boiled egg. I gotta ask my mom if she's tried that. Oh my God. Very nice. Yeah, I bet ghee is really, because sometimes I forget that, like the Indian prevalence of India and cuisine in the UK. Regardless of, I'm not even gonna do the mental gymnastics. I think it's beautiful today, present, beautiful. Like tikka masala is a Glaswegian invention, essentially. Indian restaurant made a lad something creamier and less spicy, and that's what I know, how I know it as anyway. And then England made it their national dish, but That's how I know it is. I love when worlds collide like that. God, I was addicted to popcorn for a while. It was pretty awful. But buttered popcorn, and you pour a bunch of sugar in it when it's still piping hot. Really good. Like insanely good. Too good. I used to make kettle corn, but I just lost the energy to clean the pan. I would take like a big pot and butter and put popcorn in it. The kernels, they sold the kernels for way cheaper than the bags, and I actually didn't have a microwave at that point anyway, and a bunch of sugar. But I got a random craving for it, so I just dumped the sugar in, and it was castor sugar, which, and I'm sure you're familiar with castor sugar. It's sugar, but it's finer. It's not quite powdered sugar, but it's not as granular as like the sugar that we have here. And but both sugars work. Any sugar works. I got this stuff called Crystal, and it's like I forgot what, it's like a crystal block. It's not salt, but it's something like that. Because Florida, I don't like things that melt. And I'll be real, I'm usually stinking. We're usually outside. I've been pretty, like, there's so much air and breeze on the ocean, I don't sweat a lot. However, out here, oh my god. I remember when I was, like, first starting planting out here, like, it didn't matter how much a good tip, it's not great to do all the time, but if you're really, like covered in dirt head to toe, which I was often, a little baking powder. I then since switched that out and made a body scrub with just coffee, green tea, sugar to keep it on you, and that kind of thing, because sometimes it, like, a loofah is not going to do anything. But baking soda, it could cause micro lacerations, and however, it works wonders, especially if you got a bunch of glue. I used to have to help my dad a lot with irrigation, so he'd be covered in PVC glue. And it just leaves the best aftertaste. Eggs are pretty. I'm not even gonna salt this. Did I salt it? No, I don't think. I just really never thought of that. Life-changing information. I'm really glad I didn't puff off, because I would have forgot completely. It is so good. I actually think it's a black of alum, which I know isn't the best. A guy actually used to coat himself with olive oil to keep himself from sweating. He suffocated. I can't believe it. It's one of the earliest Olympian deaths that I know of. And which is wild, because the ancient Romans, I believe, ancient Greeks or Romans, I get the two confused and I apologize, but they would like before fights and stuff like that, they would coat themselves in coat themselves in olive oil. And yeah, but one guy was in a place, was in an environment that he's not totally used to, and his body wouldn't sweat because of all his pores clogged. That was really interesting. That's one point I found, indeed. Yeah, a lot of intense things during the Olympics. There's something else I can't even watched a list not too long ago of like the things that go wrong at the Olympics, which I kind of wish they would do it every year. I mean, I get that they can't build a whole city every year because places tend to do that, and they end up with a stadium at the end, which is cool. But the poor athletes, you kind of start having to wait years for your next opportunity, and when you train every day. Like maybe there'll be like ones in between. Gotta crack this one. Let's get it peeled. Wonderful simplicity and filling. They make something that's already filling even feel a little bit more filling. So using olive oil here, you would just fry. I used it once. My mom, when she was she used Pam butter, olive oil, all for tanning. And she is a redhead, and somehow she hasn't had any. Granted, she worries about my dad way more than she worries about herself. I wish she would take her own health more seriously, but she is very maternal. Oh shoot! I better pop off because I haven't really checked my. Yeah. Have you seen the World Fairs? Those are really interesting. Straight up Moloch like worship, Baal worship, and the World Fairs are really interesting. Especially I think it was the 1933 one. They built a huge city, and ties into the mud floods too. I think, which I always wondered about that. I always wanted to talk to like maybe like I don't know anybody who has any understanding of construction, like the mud flood buildings. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that, but it'll be like a window under the concrete. How was that planned out and stuff like that? Is the road just refilled after? Was the building there first, and then they want to put some road through it? Because there'll be like doors and windows halfway under the surface. Yeah, I have a few things from World Fair. Like I have a little coin purse. It's abalone, or not abalone, mother of pearl, and a few other things like that. Little tchotchkes. So the mud floods, the buildings. I could pull up mud flood building, and mud like wet dirt. Let's see. And I'm sure mud floods happen naturally. It's just that interesting. Flip windows. Like, why is there columns and stuff under all that? How is that planned out? And like, I get the pictures where it'll be like the early 1900s and it'll be a huge bustling city and there's no human being photographed because the photos took a long time to develop. There's one where there's a guy that's a blur, but he's there, and it's because he was getting his shoe shined, so he was there for a minute, enough to be able to be picked up by the camera. Like this. How do you explain that? The entrances of the building is where those like green windows are, but there's a whole building underneath. Why would that occur? Was there like a mud flood in that area and they just, I don't know. Did they excavate and then place the building? Oh, the ground is very fascinating. And like, there'll be windows and like that. Just very curious. Mud flood buildings. Whole floors under the ground makes no sense. Yeah. Yeah, no, check out just like looking up mud flood buildings. And when I found out about it, it was like over a decade ago. So now there's like so much more imagery. And a lot of people would walk around cities just looking for mud flood buildings. Built up for water mitigation. Yeah, it's interesting. And there's so many like that. And like glass windows underneath. It just is interesting. Like those are glass windows that they just excavated. Well, I don't know much information about this picture. I don't know any information about this picture or place. However, it's just very interesting. Glass windows down there. Oh. Oh, interesting. I didn't think about that at all. Yeah, I always wanted, because like anything unexplainable, there's always different avenues of explanations, and like things I would have never thought of, because always a weird one. But I better get, my parents go to sleep pretty early, especially now, so I better go and call them and make sure nothing's changed. No test results or anything like that. However, hoping to hear something within the next few days. And my dad's just kind of been sleeping some time by, and yeah, they do want him to go through with chemo. I don't know if he's very accepting towards that. And then the whole thing, like, after that is, like, is insurance gonna cover that? Who knows? It's really horrible, but thank God for fly tying. Keeps my mind busy and my hands busy. But I better go give them a call and all that and make sure everything's good. Because, didn't hear much today, but it's before I hopped on stream. I mean, I told you I was hopping on stream, but before that is when she finally started texting because her phone isn't working at all. Like, calls just, I can't hear her. Like, it'll play part of, like, it'll rewind, like, she'll say a bunch of things, and it's the weirdest glitches I've ever experienced. And, yeah. And I will. Oh, hey, that'll give them something to live for. I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding. But thank y'all. Thank you, Anne, for the butter. That is brilliant. And thank you, for Scythe, for everything. And I will definitely relay that message because my dad actually wants to be on videos, but he gets two in his head and then starts drinking. And because he has a lot of stories he wants to tell, and it's just a matter of how to just establish it. And sometimes yeah, but he's got a very loose mouth, so. But anywho, hope y'all have a beautiful night. Love y'all, and I shall see y'all tomorrow with some weighted lead wire. I'm very stoked, beyond stoked, honestly, and gonna hopefully get a pack of the duck quills, the mallard quills, because to be able to tie something so historical as the kingfisher, I don't see a single negative thing on it. It's prized and a very hugely respected. People in the forums seem adamant that it should make a return. And that would be really, really sick to tie. So thank you for that also. And hope y'all have a beautiful day. And yeah, no, I gotta just record it. Slowly trying to keep my stuff packed a little bit. I think I might get some tackle boxes emptied so I could put the stuff in it so nothing gets tangled. I don't have a mobile fly shop, so a bunch of benefits coming from that. But have a beautiful night. Good night, Ian. Hope you take it easy and prompt heal. But I'll see you tomorrow. Oops, eggs. I'll see you tomorrow. Happy trails.